The family dinner was going exactly as expected, a parade of designer labels, humble brags, and thinly veiled insults directed at my underachieving lifestyle. My sister Amanda's new iPhone 15 Pro Max held center stage as she documented every moment for her social media followers. "Look at Sarah still using that ancient model," she smirked, zooming her camera in on my deliberately basic phone. "What is that, 3 years old?" My brother Michael chimed in, waving his own latest flagship device. "Must be hard maintaining those expensive phone payments on a basic tech support salary. If they only knew that their precious phones were connecting through networks I owned." The name SJ Communications on their service provider's documentation clearly hadn't rung any bells. "Some of us have different priorities," I replied quietly, checking my secure business email. My CFO had just confirmed our acquisition of the last independent carrier in the region. By tomorrow, every major telecommunications network in 3 states would be under my control. "Priorities," my mother scoffed, setting down her wine glass. "Darling, you're 32 and working in a call center. Your siblings are executives." Amanda preened at the mention of her executive status, a mid-level management position at a marketing firm that unknowingly rented server space from one of my data centers. Michael's investment firm handled a fraction of what my telecommunications empire generated in a day. "Speaking of work," Amanda continued, scrolling through her phone, "my latest social media campaign reached millions. The engagement metrics are incredible." She turned her screen toward me. "Not that you'd understand marketing at your level." I bit back a smile, knowing that her entire campaign's data flowed through my servers. One keystroke from my security team could wipe it all out. "How's the coverage on your new phone?" I asked innocently. "I heard some carriers are having issues in certain areas." "Only the cheap ones," Michael laughed. "Premium carriers like ours know how to maintain service. The owner's some brilliant tech mogul who never appears in public. Very mysterious." My phone buzzed with an alert from my operations team. "Ms. Johnson, final checks complete on network integration. Shall we proceed with service transfer protocol?" "Must be nice," my mother sighed, "having such reliable service." "Sarah, dear, if you need help upgrading your phone plan, I'm sure your siblings would be happy to assist." I stood up, gathering my things. "Actually, I should head out. Have an early meeting tomorrow about some service changes." "Right, customer complaints about why their budget phones don't work," Amanda snickered. "Have fun with that." As I left, I heard them planning their next social media posts, completely unaware that their digital lives were about to experience a significant disruption. "Proceed with the transfer," I texted my team. "And make sure their premium service packages are carefully reviewed for compliance." Tomorrow's family group chat was going to be very interesting, assuming they could connect to it at all. The next morning, I sat in my penthouse office overlooking the city, watching the chaos unfold through our network monitoring systems. The first message came at 6:47 a.m., Amanda's panicked attempt to post her morning wellness routine. "Error. Service discontinued. Contact network administrator." "What's happening?" She'd frantically texted our family group, her last message before her service cut out completely. "My followers are waiting for my morning motivation post." Michael's meltdown started during his 8 a.m. investment call. Our logs showed his connection dropping mid-presentation, his premium service suddenly as useful as a paperweight. My mother's realization came at her country club brunch. "So embarrassing," she'd managed to email from the club's Wi-Fi. "None of our phones are working. The carrier says our accounts are under review by the owner." I pulled up our customer service logs, watching their increasingly desperate attempts to restore their service. Amanda had already called 17 times, each time demanding to speak to a supervisor. "I'm an influencer," she'd screamed at our newest customer service rep. "Do you know how many followers I'm losing?" "I apologize, Ms. Johnson," the rep replied, following my specific script. "But according to our records, your account has been flagged for review by SJ Communications owner. Would you like to schedule a meeting to discuss your service options?" Michael tried throwing his weight around through his investment firm. "Listen," he'd blustered to our corporate services department, "I manage millions in telecommunications investments. Connect me to your CEO immediately." "Of course, sir," our VP of Corporate Relations responded smoothly. The owner has an opening at 2 p.m. today. The meeting will be at SJ Communications headquarters. My mother, ever the social navigator, tried a different approach. She called our premium client services line. There must be some mistake. The Johnsons are a very prominent family. Perhaps we could speak with someone who understands our status. The owner specifically requested to handle the Johnson family accounts personally, came the reply. Your meeting is scheduled for 2 p.m. I checked my private elevator's security feed at 1:45 p.m. They'd all arrived early, of course. Amanda clutching her dead phone like a lifeline, Michael attempting to look important while staring helplessly at his blank screen, and my mother trying to maintain her composure despite being disconnected from her social circles for the first time in years. The owner will see you now, my assistant announced, leading them into my private conference room. They froze in the doorway as I turned my chair to face them, their expressions shifting from entitled demands to shocked recognition. Welcome to SJ Communications, I smiled, gesturing to the chairs. Shall we discuss your service issues? The look on their faces made every condescending comment about my basic tech support job worth it. This has to be a joke, Amanda stammered, her influencer poise crumbling as she stared at the wall of telecommunications awards behind my desk, all bearing my name. You work in tech support. I own tech support, I corrected her, pulling up their account details on the room's massive display. Along with the networks, data centers, and infrastructure you've been so casually dismissing for years. Michael, his investment trader instincts kicking in, started calculating on his dead phone. SJ Communications, the market cap, the annual revenue, is more than your firm will manage in the next decade, I finished for him. Though I particularly enjoyed your company's recent presentation about understanding the telecommunications sector. My mother sank into a chair, her social media withdrawal competing with her shock. But at every family dinner you said you worked in basic tech services. I do. I smiled, bringing up our company's organizational chart. I just didn't mention that I own the services. All of them. Including the premium networks you've been bragging about. Amanda found her voice first, influencer mode reactivating. Sarah darling, surely we can discuss this as family. My followers dash. Your followers, I interrupted, pulling up her account analytics, who are mainly bots purchased through a service that runs on my servers? Those followers. She deflated visibly, her carefully curated online persona cracking. Or perhaps, I turned to Michael, we should discuss your firm's telecommunications investment portfolio? The one that's actually just a tiny stake in one of my subsidiary companies. Michael's face went pale as the numbers displayed on screen. This is unnecessary. My mother tried her mediator role. We're family. We can sort this out over dinner at the country club. The country club whose entire communications infrastructure I recently acquired? I asked innocently. Including their member database, which shows some interesting discrepancies in your reported status. The silence in the room was broken only by the soft hum of servers managing millions of connections I could control with a single command. Here's what's going to happen, I said, pulling out 3 folders. Inside each folder is a new service agreement. Basic plan, standard phones, no special privileges. The kind of plan you mocked me for having. But my social media presence, Amanda whispered, will have to be earned through actual content, not bot engagement. My investment clients, Michael started, will need to be impressed by real market knowledge, not borrowed prestige. My mother opened her mouth, but I held up my hand. And the family's social standing will have to rest on something more substantial than digital facades. I stood, straightening my designer suit, the kind of subtle luxury they'd never appreciated. You have 2 choices. Sign the new agreements, accepting your actual place in the digital hierarchy, or find another carrier. I smiled. Though good luck finding one I don't own. This is blackmail, Michael protested weakly. No, I corrected him, this is a business decision. Something you claimed I'd never understand, remember? Amanda cracked first, her hands shaking as she reached for a pen. My last post was 18 hours ago, she whispered as if in physical pain. My engagement metrics will now reflect real followers, not purchased ones, I finished, pulling up her actual social media analytics. Interesting how your million followers translate to about 500 genuine engagements. Michael was frantically checking contract terms on his laptop, the only device he had that still worked. The roaming charges alone, and these data limits, are what most people live with, I noted, bringing up his monthly usage. Fascinating how much day-to-day trading apps consume, especially when running multiple accounts simultaneously against market regulations. His face paled further as he realized I had access to all his mobile trading records. My mother, ever the pragmatist, studied me with new eyes. All those family dinners, she mused, when we showcased our success and dismissed yours. You were building this empire right under our noses? While you were posting about imagined luxury, I confirmed, I was quietly acquiring the means to control the platforms you posted on. I pressed a button, and the room's screens filled with their digital footprints, every boastful post, every exaggerated claim, every carefully filtered photo of a lifestyle they could barely afford. Did you know, I continued casually, that our networks don't just carry your data? They analyze it. Every credit card decline hidden beneath claims of exclusive purchases. Every overdraft notification buried under photos of luxury vacations. Every desperate attempt to maintain appearances in a digital world you thought you understood. Amanda was now openly crying, mascara running as she signed her new basic service agreement. Michael, his trading apps still inaccessible, followed suit with a trembling hand. My mother took longer, reading every term. Finally, she looked up. The monthly family dinners, she said slowly. Will they continue? That depends, I replied, on whether you're ready to experience success instead of just posting about it. I pulled out one more document, an invitation to our company's annual tech conference. Next month, I'm giving the keynote speech about authentic digital presence versus cultivated illusions. You're all welcome to attend. I paused. In the general admission section, of course. General admission? Amanda looked horrified. But we're family. Exactly, I smiled. And family should understand the value of earning their position rather than expecting it. My phone buzzed. Their new basic service plans had been activated. The screens showed their social media accounts coming back online, but with all borrowed prestige stripped away. No more verified badges, no more artificial engagement, no more digital smoke and mirrors. Welcome to reality, I said, standing to end the meeting. I hear it has excellent coverage. As they left, clutching their new basic phones and shattered pretenses, my assistant brought in the latest acquisition reports. 3 more regional carriers, ripe for integration into my growing empire. Should we send them invitations to the shareholders' meeting? She asked. No, I replied, watching them wait for their Uber, their private car services having been tied to the now-cancelled premium plans. Let them learn about success from the ground up, one genuine connection at a time.